All right, so I wanted to do a quick video on Afrezza. We'll kind of do a speed run and show you how quickly it can bring down your blood sugar and just go over some of the basics about it if you're not that familiar with it. So Afrezza is an inhaled insulin. It's the only one on the market here in the US. It's been out for a number of years, and some of you may be familiar with it, maybe others not so much. But what it is, you have this little inhaler here, and then you have little cartridges. Now the cartridges come in 4, 8, and 12 unit increments, and then you do one at a time, and then you get to the dose you need to be at. So Afrezza inhaled insulin is dosed, like I said, in 4, 8, and 12, and you have to kind of round up a little bit because the insulin compared to injectable, you have to basically multiply it by like 1.5 times whatever you would have given of injectable. So if you're going to get 4 units of injectable, you'd want to be closer to around 6 units of Afrezza. So you need a little bit more to get the same effect. Now, the big thing with Afrezza is how quickly it works, and it is very impressive, particularly for corrections. So sometimes my blood sugar will be going higher, give Humalog, Novolog, even some of the ultra fast acting like Fiasp and Lumjev, and they just can't match how quickly this works. It's really, really impressive. So that's what I wanted to do today, to kind of show you a speed run. So just so you know, injectable insulin, Humalog, Novolog, all of those, they take about 15 to 20 minutes to actually kick in. They peak at around 60 to 90 minutes, and then they're not out of your system for close to 4 hours. Now, Afrezza kicks in about 12 minutes. It peaks in about a half hour, 35 minutes around there, and it's out of your system, in my experience, about an hour. They say about an hour and a half up to 3, but really I found this kicks in about 15 minutes and it's out of my system in an hour. Now, why is it so important that it's out of your system in an hour? Well, I'm sure we've all stacked insulin when we're trying to correct. We have a high blood sugar, we give, however many units. An hour later we check, we're still high, we give more. And then 2 hours later, you're crashing down. That's the great thing about this. It's in and out of your system super quickly, super quick. So that's really important. And it's one of the great things about this. And it's why I love using it for corrections. So what I wanted to do again, I wanted to do a quick example to show you how quick it works. I'm running a little bit higher now. So I wanted to do a video and show you, what my number was before. We'll do a quick inhaled insulin, and then I'll show you what it's at about 15 minutes later, and we can kind of go over that. And just so I can show you how fast this stuff works, because I've been impressed by it. It literally, injectable insulin, even like I said, the ultra fast acting ones like the Lumjev and Fiasp, just cannot touch this. So let's take a look and I'll kind of show you how quickly it does. All right, so I just did a quick finger stick, and I'm doing finger sticks rather than using the Libre sensor, because if you're familiar with the finger sticks and how CGMs and Libres and Dexcoms work, they run about 15 minutes behind. So I want to get the most up-to-date blood sugar so we can kind of, base our, the speed upon the finger sticks. So right now you can take a look and you can see I am 130. So not high, but running a little bit higher. I wouldn't mind being down a few more points than that. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to take a 4 unit of the Afrezza. So 4 units, which would be a little bit less if we're comparing that to an injectable insulin. So take one of these out, and I'll show you how we put it in. So you have the white end facing up, and then you have this little cartridge. It fits in like a puzzle piece. There's only one way you can put it in. Slide it in there. You face this down a little bit. You clip it in like this, and then you blow out, and then in. Hold that for a few seconds, and then that's pretty much it. So that was 4 unit of Afrezza. And then I'm going to check my blood sugar again in about 15 minutes, and then we'll check to see how much it's decreased. So remember, it was 130 when I just checked it. So we'll be hoping, to drop at least at 20 or so, 20, 30 points in about 15 to 20 minutes. So I'll check again, and then we'll see what it's like then. Okay, so a little bit longer than I wanted to. I'd say probably we're at about 17 minutes here, just by the time I set everything back up. And remember, I was 130 before, and in just over 15 minutes, I'm already down 25 points, down to 105. So you can see how significant of a change that is in such a small amount of time. And we know with injectable insulin, I'm sure if you've been using Humalog or Novolog, as great as they are, they just don't work that fast. In 15 minutes, you're likely to see little, if any, drop at all in your blood sugar. Normally takes about a half an hour before you start to see a change, and really about an hour before you start to see that peak. So you can see just in 15, maybe 17 minutes there or so, I've already dropped 25 points, which is a pretty big amount. And then in another half an hour, I'll expect to drop a bit further. And the great part about this is, like I said, there's really no stacking of insulin, because with Humalog and Novolog, it'll be in your system for about 4 hours. You can sometimes give a little bit too much. With this, it's pretty much going to be out in my experience, in about an hour, so I don't have to worry about stacking insulin and giving too much. So it really works great, and that's part of the reason with how fast it works, that they suggest giving it at mealtime, never before, because it works so fast. And sometimes I've even heard some of the reps and things like that suggest eating first and then monitoring your blood sugar. And as soon as you start to see it trend up on your CGM, that's when you give your first dose, and you can kind of do it that way to keep it from going high because it works so fast. So that's Afrezza. I really enjoy it. I think it helps, especially with correction doses. I think there's nothing that can beat it. So if you haven't tried it out, I would definitely talk to your endocrinologist. It really is a great product, and it works really well and really fast. So that's the main thing here. So check it out if you haven't, and please let me know in the comments if this is helping, if there's videos you'd like me to do in the future. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. I'm going to be releasing new content about every week now, different tips and tricks for fellow diabetics to help you out. So thank you so much, and good luck with your diabetes.